Dear Patriots, please subscribe to our patriotic channel. Like and share this video so your friends can see it. Thank you. Hillary announces she's moving out of US because of Trump, isn't going to like place she picked. Hillary Clinton was recently talking about moving out of the United States after she lost the 2016 election. She was likely devastated by the loss as Donald Trump won the election, stopping Hillary from becoming the first female American president. Her stunning loss came at the hands of a man with no political experience, but that of reality television and business, and people were left in tears when she lost. People still complain today, over a year after the election and with disregard to Trump making wonderful progress on some issues important to Americans. Hillary's talk of moving out of the country saw herself moving to New Zealand, all the way on the other side of the planet from her comfy home here in America, where she's persistently criticized and possibly faces legal trouble after being caught up in a money laundering scandal with the Democratic National Committee. Hillary might claim it was only a joke that she's moving out of America, but sometimes jokes are later revealed as truth. Even though her comments were jokes, for now, many wonder if they'll turn out to be true if there are any pending legal actions. It makes sense for her to pull a Roman Polanski and run from the country if she faces legal actions. Breitbart reported more on Clinton's joke about moving out of America. Hillary Clinton joked on Monday that she thought about permanently relocating to New Zealand after her crushing 2016 presidential election loss to Donald Trump. "I received a number of invitations from Kiwis to permanently relocate here," Clinton said in Auckland. "I must say I really appreciated the offers and gave them some thought, but I'm going to stay put because we have work to do in my country as well." Clinton said she wanted to help Democrats crack the code to beat Trump, the reality TV candidate, in 2020. "Part of our problem was this unprecedented reality TV campaign and him being the first reality TV candidate in our history," she reportedly said. Clinton said reporters were acting like they were watching a car wreck or train wreck all the time in 2016 and they couldn't take their eyes away. "They didn't know what to make of it," Clinton said, referring to Trump's insults and his scapegoating and his horrible comments about people with disabilities and Latin Americans and immigrants and everybody. She added, "It was just so hard to understand." Clinton then said it took a perfect storm of events for Trump to defeat her, deep currents of anger and resentment flowing through our culture. "Our political press that told voters my emails were the most important story. The unprecedented intervention in our election by the FBI director. The information warfare waged from within the Kremlin." She added that the forces at work in the 2016 election in the United States are still with us, not only in the United States but around the world. "We're having a very important struggle in the United States right now," Clinton said. "It's difficult to fully grasp because there are 20 stories and people are getting overwhelmed by the strange goings on we are living through." What's very funny is that Hillary and her fans still complain about Trump winning the election and they continue to resist the election results. The resistance to accepting the presidential election results shows a great weakness and an ignorant amount of arrogance on one side of politics. Donald Trump needs support from the politicians who work for him and even those who challenge him. Constructive criticism is good, but blatant ignorance and delusional sideshows show where true failure is, and those people who participate in the shenanigans are the same people halting further progress for Americans. Will Hillary ever move out of the United States? No one truly knows but her. She might be more likely to move if there's any chance of her facing legal charges for any of her alleged crimes. If she's about to be prosecuted and finds out about it earlier than expected, then she might get in a plane and really leave for New Zealand. Will she like it there? No one knows that either. These are all unknown bits of information until Hillary Clinton reveals them herself. Of course, that's if citizens find out on the mainstream media when something happens legally. Although many people find Hillary Clinton to be untouchable, so the people she worked with might be the first to suffer any legal penalties for various incidents, in particular, the alleged $84 million that was laundered and recently reported on. Please share this on social media to let your friends know about Hillary's joke. They might get excited. To be serious with them, Use this as a way to start a friendly conversation about what will happen to Hillary Clinton regarding the alleged crimes that she's being looked at for. Share and comment this funny story. Dear Patriots, please subscribe to our patriotic channel. Like and share this video so your friends can see it. Thank you. Top Democrat just busted with 4 female slaves and mainstream media refuses to report it. New York's Democratic Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman, has been a prominent voice in the #MeToo movement, suing Harvey Weinstein in the wake of his sexual misconduct scandal and advocating for women's rights. Now Schneiderman himself that finger point back at him, standing as the accused by no less than 4 women of choking, hitting, and threatening them during brutal, alcohol-fueled sexual assaults. Of the 4 women accusing Schneiderman of sexual misconduct and physical abuse, 2 chose to go on the record with their accounts of what had occurred. Michelle Manning Barish and Tanya Selvaratnam have come forward in full. All 4 accused the New York Attorney General of heinous and abusive sexual assaults, along with threats, mental abuse, and stealing prescription medication. The New Yorker describes what these women allege regarding the allegations against Schneiderman's assaults. All have been reluctant to speak out, fearing reprisal. But 2 of the women, Michelle Manning Barish and Tanya Selvaratnam, have talked to the New Yorker on the record, because they feel that doing so could protect other women. They allege that he repeatedly hit them, often after drinking, frequently in bed and never with their consent. Manning Barish and Selvaratnam categorize the abuse he inflicted on them as assault. They did not report their allegations to the police at the time, but both say that they eventually sought medical attention after having been slapped hard across the ear and face, and also choked. Selvaratnam says that Schneiderman warned her he could have her followed and her phones tapped, and both say that he threatened to kill them if they broke up with him. Schneiderman's spokesperson said that he never made any of these threats. One of those women is named Tanya Selvaratnam, a feminist author, actor and film producer, says that she met Schneiderman at the 2016 Democratic National Convention. Born in Sri Lanka, she is described by The New Yorker as having dark skin, and she describes Schneiderman often referred to her as his brown slave and demanded she say out loud that she was his property. Sometimes in bed, she recalls, he would be shaking me and grabbing my face while demanding that she repeat such things as "I'm a little whore." She says that he also told her, "If you ever left me, I'd kill you." She describes dating Schneiderman as, "It was a fairy tale that became a nightmare." As Selvaratnam says, Schneiderman began physically abusing her in bed, and that it got worse over time. She recalls, "The slaps started after we'd gotten to know each other. It was at first as if he were testing me. Then it got stronger and harder." Selvaratnam says, "It wasn't consensual. This wasn't sexual play acting. This was abusive, demeaning, threatening behavior." According to the New Yorker when Schneiderman was violent, he often made sexual demands. He was obsessed with having a threesome, and said it was my job to find a woman, she says. He said he'd have nothing to look forward to if I didn't, and would hit me until I agreed. She had no intention of having a threesome, she recalls. Sometimes, he'd tell me to call him master, and he'd slap me until I did. Selvaratnam, who was born in Sri Lanka, has dark skin, and she recalls that he started calling me his brown slave and demanding that I repeat that I was his property. Schneiderman not only slapped her across the face, often 4 or 5 times, back and forth, with his open hand, he also spat at her and choked her. He was cutting off my ability to breathe, she says. In her view, Schneiderman is a misogynist and a sexual sadist. She says that she often asked him to stop hurting her, and tried to push him away. At other times, she gave in, rationalizing that she could tolerate the violence if it happened only once a week or so during sex. But the emotional and verbal abuse started increasing, she says, and the belittling and demeaning of me carried over into our non-sexual encounters. He told her to get plastic surgery to remove scars on her torso that had resulted from an operation to remove cancerous tumors. He criticized her hair and said that she should get breast implants and buy different clothes. He mocked some of her friends as ditzes, and, when these women attended a birthday celebration for her, He demanded that she leave just as the cake was arriving. I began to feel like I was in hell, she says. Selvaratnam also said Schneiderman routinely drank heavily, took sedatives, and pushed her to drink with him. "Drink your bourbon, Turnip," his nickname for her. In the middle of the night, he staggered through the apartment, as if in a trance. "I've never seen anyone that messed up," she recalls. "It was like sleeping next to a monster." And then came the threats. He had said he would have to kill me if we broke up, on multiple occasions. "He also told me he could have me followed and could tap my phone," said Selvaratnam. 5 years ago, in September of 2013, Donald Trump tweeted out that Schneiderman was worse than Democrats Anthony Weiner and former NY Governor Eliot Spitzer. Weiner is gone, Spitzer is gone, next will be lightweight AG Eric Schneiderman. Is he a crook? Wait and see, worse than Spitzer or Weiner.